Howdy, howdy, folks. World of Warships Legends here. We've got the Mutsu in shards. Always look at the teams. Boom, red flag. Double destroyer, double IGN destroyer. I had, what was it, my AL New Jersey game. I had the triple battleship division, double destroyer, big red flag. Can work, but oof, drawbacks. So we'll skip ahead a little bit. I just wanted to point that out. It's the kind of thing, if you play it intelligently, you can actually do a really good job in a double destroyer division. Destroyers are kind of the eyes, the scouting, the control, point control part of the team. There's a lot that they can do. You can run double gunboats, and you can just like mulch a red destroyer, make sure that he is gone, and then go both do your own thing. Like, there are ways you can play that, but two IJN destroyers is pretty weak. We got a game in the Mutsu today. Got aiming and prop. I've got Yamato, but what's his face? The Kagi would work just as well. She just gives a tiny bit of turret traverse and dispersion. Very standard build. I've got Cunningham. Go Revel if you don't have AL Colorado, and you can have most of these same skills. I'm running, what is it, crisscross instead of drill bits. You can do either. Reasonable health. 16-inch guns, more or less, 410 millimeter on the Mutsu. Decent damage. It's got torpedoes. That's a surprise. They're useless, right? Maybe. We'll find out. AA defense is garbage tier, but hey, it's tier 5, so it'll still shoot down some stuff. Speed is actually decent. Speed, the whole maneuverability. And then we get to the armor. The armor is a mixed bag. You're covered in squishy stuff, which isn't unusual for tier 5. But it's got... I can... Is it a turtleback? I don't know. Sometimes people are like, oh, I'm actually that sloped armor. I don't know the technical differences. I don't know if it... I'm no ship, armor expert, but this guy's got deck slopes on the Citadel. There's 76 millimeters. That's actually really good. It is squishy enough, that casemate armor is 229. Everything's going to pin that. But the armor belt, that's 305. That's not bad for tier 5. Again, I'm no expert on all this stuff, but the Mutsu really doesn't have bad armor. It's got its drawbacks. Those my stats. I played this thing 5 times, so if you were ever... I put this up. I actually had, for some reason in my head, oh, I know what it was. Someone on Reddit was like, oh, which of the, S tier, tier 5 battleships should I get? And I was like, oh, I could make a video about all of those. I've got them. They're fun. I like them well enough. And I was like, oh, no, what about the other ones? What about the ones that nobody thinks about or talks about? Mutsu being one. West Virginia, Mutsu, I think, is a couple notches down from the S tier trio of California, Hyuga, and Warspite. West Virginia, I think, is up there. I think West Virginia is, maybe with a few commander tweaks or options or whatever, I think West Virginia is really good. I think it's slept on. I think it does have some drawbacks. But when it cooperates, I think that actually may be the most... The reason that it's not quite in the S tier is it's not as reliable as some of the other ones. But in that kind of just under, you've got West Virginia and Dunkirk, I think, are both quite good. I think, what is it, P.E. Friedrich, which there's actually one of these in that triple division over at A in this match. If you have the Prince Heinrich commander, P.E. Friedrich is actually quite good. Not in the S tier, but if you have that commander, I think it gets elevated a little bit. Mutsu, that salvo is part of the reason Mutsu just isn't any better than it is. The accuracy just isn't there. It's got big guns, but you even, IGN dispersion, better than average at range, you just can't rely on them. Oh, here we go. I put that in here to remind myself. All 3 destroyers are in that, basically the same square at this point. That's a big no-no. Those 2 Fubukis, I won't go as far as to say that they lost this game for their team. They did. But you just can't do that. They've denied vision for the entire rest of the map. There's no scouting. They're not spotting any of the blue team destroyers. They're all, and they went with the other red destroyer. There was already a destroyer on that cap. They didn't come to B. They didn't go to A. They could have done anything else except that. And they've got 5 red ships on top of each other at sea. They're going to cap it, thankfully. Our poor blue battleship, I've been in that guy's shoes a million times. Note to self, I'm not always on the weak flank. But he's doing exactly what you have to do in that situation. Just kite out and stay alive. He didn't have a fun match, but he played it perfectly. That's really all you can do. He tied them down, slowed them down, remained a threat. My Turpitz video and whatever. I'm always on the weak flank, so props to that guy. Actually, I should have sent him a message after the match, just like, I know how that is, dude. But anyway, because we know all the destroyers are there, like, we can just mosey on into B and cap that. I'm glad that our that was a bad shot. I should have aimed up a little. I'm glad that our destroyer is coming in to help. I was really nervous he was going to go into all 3 red destroyers and get himself sunk. That is the thing that you can do with the destroyers, is like you dogpile the enemy destroyers. You know where they are, you can find them, you're there right there together, and you just delete it before the enemy team can even do anything about it. But thankfully, he backed off a little bit. And yeah, at this point, this team wasn't, we didn't do everything perfectly. It wasn't all exactly as I would have planned if I could control everyone, but I kind of dig how the team is spread out right now. Like, we're close enough to support each other. There's that battleship kind of on the far side of A. Our destroyers aren't just like, everybody go over there to try to sink him. They're like moving on to the rest of the fight. And that's something you got to do a lot. Like, I'm looking at Bayern, like, whatever, he's not going to delete me at this range. So yeah, I appreciate that everybody's kind of coming over here. A little later we get a little clustered up, but then sometimes it's like you can only do so much when everybody else is around you. Like, you try to go that way, they also try to go that way, like, whatever, I get it. Here, I'm kind of heading in. This is a bit of a risky play, but also, like, I'm just looking at the way these guys are playing. They're spotted, they're like open water gunboating. We've got to shoot them. I mean, at some point we do have to sink them. I'm looking at all these torpedoes coming in. I know it's only a matter of time before there's a billion. The Vasteras, I believe, can reach me from here. The Fubuki definitely can. The carrier's on me too, but I am actually shooting down planes. I have dumpster tier. Oh, that's a bummer. Double flood and rudder gone, so I was kind of holding my repair party in case I got, flooded again later, or so it's not, while I'm in contact until I have seen the Fubuki's torpedoes. I want to kind of hold it, but once I get the rudder and the double flood, like, it's time. And this is part of why. Here comes the widespread. He launched them like boom, boom, boom. They're on top of each other. Thankfully, I was already turned when my rudder got knocked again. Just sneak right in. And yeah, oh, my torpedoes that I launched a while ago. Look at that. Look at that. There, he sails right into it. It does like no damage. Probably some damage saturation. They don't do a ton of damage anyway, but look, Dev Strike on the Fubuki. You can see it on the side there. Mutsu also has, I meant to point it out in the stat screen, has 10 per side 140 millimeter guns. I have seen, we'll say more than one destroyer just rush a Mutsu and get mulched by those things. They don't have the range, they don't have the pin, they don't have the reload to be like a realistic secondary brawler based on the casemate guns. But if you're a destroyer, like, you need to respect them. If you get too close to those things, they will delete you. Or they can. If you don't have a build, like, whatever. Just don't ignore them. There's a lot of them. You can see I don't have a ton of damage, but we've capped the points, or capped this middle point. We sank the Fubuki. I mean, that's a lot of points or experience right there. And, uh-oh. I'm super low. I knew going into this middle part that this was an aggressive, risky play. And I'm just looking at how the map's kind of playing out, and I'm like, this is a win. We're up this many ships. If I can get some fire support on the destroyers at this point, even if I go down, like, this is probably worth it. I wanted to sink that Nagato, got left with a sliver of health, and I'm like, I'm done. But hey, he's got Japanese dispersion too, and so it just bracket stair steps me right there, sneak my nose right in. I'm hoping my destroyers don't sneak this from me, and hey, we get it. All right. So Nagato down, and now we're actually alright. I've got a heal, got a minute left on the cooldown, but there's 2 destroyers, they're far enough away. The torpedoes aren't a huge threat. The carrier has switched his attention to the destroyers that are right on top of him, so I'm actually safe for a minute here. So yeah, we're just gonna push on over. There's only so many, even with these destroyers, they're far enough away, and they've kind of got other things on their mind. Oh, look at this salvo. Yeah, almost forgot. Like, that's what you want all the time, and it just doesn't happen. I mean, that's one of the weaknesses of the Mutsu. And it's fine, it just keeps it from being, better than it is. I've played, this was my 5th game in it. I've won every game, but it's not because I hard carried. It's just one of those things about matchmaking. And Yeah, I just this is it. This is the video. If you ever think like, oh, should I buy the Mutsu? Eh, it's fine. It's a diversion. Yeah. Sometimes you get double citadels on a running away carrier, but I also shot at him, what, 3, 4 times previously and did like overpins the whole time. It's not amazing. Uh, if it's different, if you really want something different, it is enough different from like the Hyuga that it feels different to play. Hyuga's just better. Even without the overmatch, Hyuga's better, Warspite's better, California's better, and that's okay. This one, I think the biggest things are the maneuverability and the torpedoes, and maybe that turtleback. But as you get, like, this thing's squishy enough, it's not really like a huge deal on it. Yeah, finish off the Busteros. I made a mistake here. I should not have damage control partied that fire. For whatever reason in my head, I was like, oh, the carrier is dead. Like, he's not going to mess with me anymore. But obviously, he still has a squadron. Like, they can still drop on me again. I should have just held the damage control until that squadron's completely done. But I didn't. And we went on points anyway. So, bombs in the air. Screw you, carrier. um, let's see how we did. It's not like a barn burner or damage, but we got some stuff. And looked at that for a long time. Why did why did I look at it so long? What, did I switch ever? What am I doing? Oh no, did I not put the score screen in? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's in here. I'm dumb. I'm sorry, guys. Good game.